Let's look at how this Illustrator drawing is constructed. Here are some 3D models of a donut shape and two reference spheres. Use the core shadow on the sphere to figure out the core shadow on the donut. The tangent point where the light ray line touches the shape is where the core starts. The core ends at the tangent point on the other side of the shape. Knowing this enables you to figure out where the core shadow start and end on the donut. The vertical center cross-section on the sphere show how high the core shadows appear on the donut. You can see the core here, here, and here are identical just below the halfway mark. The horizontal cross-section on the sphere also show where the cores start and end on the donut. Always study and use the core shadow on the sphere to figure out where the cores appear on rounded shapes. Let's look at the Illustrator drawing. The drawing started with creating the outside shape of the entire donut using two passes. This compound pass was then duplicated. The lower one is used for the shading. The upper one is used as a clipping mask or clipping pass. Activate the lower one or the lower body and look at the appearance panel. Here you can see a Gaussian blur was applied to it. Let me turn it off. So you can see that this pass has a stroke right here. Also has a linear fill. And the linear fill consists of three different colors, going from light to darker to lighter. Applying the blur softens it and gives it a core, a darker shading on both sides. Let's look at the other pass, the next one. Select it, appearance, turn off the Gaussian blur. This pass has a dark stroke and a simple linear fill using three colors. The Gaussian blur softens it, that gives it a slightly darker core, just like what you see here. The next pass is a core on the upper side of the donut using identical method. The next pass is a simple pass with only two anchor points. You can see only two anchor points. This has a simple solid color fill. Similar technique using a Gaussian blur to soften it. The next pass is also a simple pass using two anchor points, using the same technique to give it a highlight, like what you see here. The next pass is identical as the lower one, and the highlight is also identical to the lower one. This is how this donut illustration was constructed.